Culprits Podcast.
Crooked Culprits.
Hello, baby. How y'all doing today?
Hello. Welcome back.
Crooked
Another
Culprits.
Crooked Culprits.
Episode 13.
Yes.
Coming in with some hot takes on some hot topics, baby.
Hot topics.
You know, we have Tony Hoffman here as always with our resident Jew, our sex appeal, you know?
Yes.
Shawnee boy Dugest.
Cheers with the water.
To nerds and birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you from here. It's bad luck.
yeah,
Ooh,
fine.
chaka, ooh.
Water to water's not bad luck.
Because then it's bad luck to bad luck, so you get a double negative and it cancels out, right?
Exactly.
There it is.
Yeah. If you gotta be stitious, you gotta go all the way stitious. you
Yeah,
know?
those who know
It's
me know
ostitious.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So. Yeah, I think that's my one stitious right there.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
just the one.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, if I gotta walk under a ladder, like, we'll be all right, probs. But
And I love black cats. Black cats are cool. Although
Yeah, dude.
you're allergic to cats, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you don't like black cats.
I
or
prefer
any
fat
cats.
ass and then some
Oh,
black
yeah,
cats.
fair.
But, you know?
You prefer the other kind.
Yeah, that's right. The other cat.
The other kind. The other kind. Oh man, dude. Speaking of cats,
Speaking of cats, bro.
I just thought that
We
was
got
a
a
good segue.
dirty rusty
got-
cat for you guys today.
We do.
We got a big old stinker. You know, a real joie de vivre, you know what I mean? So, a real pukiak, as they say in the homeland.
Sopranos.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Such a great TV show.
Telling you, man.
Most
You
what
gotta-
I've watched so far.
You gotta delve through, man. You gotta
know.
push. You gotta just own it. Forget the roommates. It's a quest
I
that
just
you've
gotta
taken
watch
on
it
yourself.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, although I'm proud of them because they don't finish TV shows.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm a fucking
Attention
TV
span is
hard.
it's low these days. It's in high
Yeah.
demand.
But the Fallout series is actually really good.
Yeah, I've heard that shit keeps
Yeah.
people's old wombat attention.
I was really impressed. Apparently, the like department that does all the art decoration and stuff for the sets. I guess the set department. I should know this. I'm a film person. But anyway, they like Bethesda sent them over 3D rendered models that they could print and then like put around in the like scenes.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
actually have like pieces of wood.
I heard
or,
they
like,
sent fucking Todd Howard out for the first couple episodes
They
too.
did,
to just
yeah,
like,
no, he was part of it.
and
yeah.
you know what? Like, I don't know if I know all of my video game history correctly, but like from what I understand, Todd Howard was like with the original guys from Fallout, and you know was from the guys who
so.
wanted to create a thing that was local, and that's why the first one was where it was. And
Where did it take place?
I
do you
can't
know?
remember
Okay,
the Commonwealth of the whatever. I don't know, this had so many. I came in at like
Reasonable.
Fallout New Vegas, and then that was in like the Mojave Desert, you know, and then Fallout 3 is in. It's in the capital, so it's in Washington
DC?
D.C.
Oh, nice,
with
cool.
the White House and the
Oh, nice.
shit
Tight.
and the Washington Monument. In the spirit of kitties and how they are
Yeah.
dirty and stinky, we would like to present you with our first video of the episode. We got ourselves a real
For you.
yeah, dude. This chick she's fucking metal, dude. She's fucking metal, bro. You can't
She's
say
something,
she's not.
yeah.
She's absolutely metal, man.
It's starting. I didn't mean to do that.
That's
There
all right.
we
I won't
go.
tell.
All right, yeah. Let's check this shit out. That
Bro,
face
you
is
gotta show them the
beautiful.
screen cap of that shit, dude. Like, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I need to also start the OBS.
Hell yeah,
we're gonna
dude.
start that on a good spree.
Yeah, baby.
All right, start recording that.
Yeah, we're cruising.
All right, yeah. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right,
dude.
let's play.
I made cinnamon rolls out of my yeast infection, and I have to say, they turned out pretty damn good. These
You
are
didn't
actually
try that
what
yet.
I gave my husband for Valentine's Day.
She's going for it.
It's cinnamon rolls made from not only the yeast from my yeast infection, but also my breast milk. So
The
it's
yeast
like
from her yeast infection.
really natural.
Disgusting.
But also her breast milk.
And when he tried
I mean,
it,
hey, breast milk
he
is
noticed
breast
immediately
milk.
that it tasted a little different than they normally do when I make him cinnamon rolls. And he was like, "What did you do differently? It's really good." And I said, "Actually, it was my yeast infection and breast milk, you know." One thing I will say is they taste like almost like
It's
sourdough.
It's not.
Like they're a little more sour than like a normal cinnamon roll would be.
A little more sour
And I
than
think
a
that's
normal
due to
cinnamon
it
roll.
Being like yeast from my
Her
body.
husband was like, "These are
But-
weird. It's icing. What'd you do different?" She's like, "It's from my
Well,
teeth."
It's from my
mean,
titties.
They're good. He liked
In a
them.
yeast infection, that's not a healthy cooter.
Did say
That's from
they
her
were
dirty,
different, but,
yeasty
like,
cooter, bro.
not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. This dude. You right.
Is why you should not make cinnamon rolls or any baked goods out of your yeast infection. I just want to do some damage control because I know I came on here and said I made cinnamon rolls out of my yeast infection and they turned out really good. And they did. They tasted really good. But
Did you see
we
her tongue?
consumed them.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, these white spots start popping up on mine and my husband's tongue. And I'm Googling what that means. And it says it's oral thrush.
She
which is
got
essentially
thrush
a
like
yeast
meth
infection
heads.
for your mouth. And the reason we have it is because we consumed my yeast infection.
And she gave that to her
So
whole
what I thought
family,
was a
her
very
husband,
special
and their
Valentine's
children
gift,
too, dude.
Truly a pastry made with love from
Made
things
with
that came
love.
from my body. Turned out to be
Disgust.
the president of oral thrush, and it's not fun having it. It's not the most comfortable thing to live with. It's kind of painful, and
The
I just feel
fucking
so
child in
bad
the background
for
dying.
giving it to my husband. And I'm thinking I need to make it up to him in some way. Now I would make a pastry out of my breast milk again, but the yeast is just not worth it. Just go buy yeast from the grocery store. And if you want to, you can just lie and say it is your yeast infection that's in it. But it's definitely not worth it.
Don't do
Anyway, I
any
just
of
wanted to
it.
come on here because I felt obligated to do that damage control because I know a lot of you look up to me and are influenced by me and we're thinking about trying that just because I did, but don't do it.
Even the I didn't know this video had edits, but I like
was
them.
awesome.
I like them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, she made
Why?
cinnamon rolls out of her yeast infection and gave her whole family thrush.
I would take her kids away. That is
She
that
should go to
is
jail.
Endangerment. What the and these people and she has people that look up to her. What? And you people did this? Why?
She had to keep those kids quiet on set, I guess. We'll get into that later.
That was a good teaser segue.
Yeah, dude. Coming
into the-
soon,
yeah,
later today. But yeah, she she thought it would be a clever idea if she made cinnamon rolls out of her nasty yeast infected punake, and her and then she makes the sauce or whatever out of the cinnamon roll jizz.
Yep.
What do you call it? The icing out of her
that was
fucking titty
disgusting.
milk.
I mean, the breast milk is fine.
Bro,
I guess.
no way.
I mean,
That's-
it's milk
that's-
and babies eat
Bro,
it.
you gotta
I don't know.
homogenize that shit. Something like that. You know what I mean?
I've never.
That's like
had
drinking
breast
milk straight out of a cow's tit,
since
bro.
for a long.
That's
time.
like drinking milk straight out of the udder.
I mean, hey, like. It's,
Well, udders will like give you diseases and shit, but cows are dirtier.
Fair.
But still,
Yeah.
like I've heard that it's not like super duper awesome for people to drink that are not babies.
Fair enough.
I
I've
can't
not
remember
heard
why, but I
that,
thought there was
yeah.
either way, like just disgusting. Either way, so but the worst part of this thing is that did you hear? So she's like she made it, and then she goes and she. This isn't the first time this bitch has done that.
I know, yeah. She's
like, oh, I made some muffins too.
Yeah.
And but these cinnamon rolls with her dirty, yeasty punaka, and then she makes the sauce out of her, her bing bongs, and then she goes and she goes to her husband and she goes, Happy Valentine's Day. He eats it and goes,
Wow,
what is
these
this?
are
So
so
she
good,
he
yeah.
didn't have a choice, dog.
She
you gave me
totally-
that choice. I'd throw it at you and I'd be like, I need you to leave.
Yeah, no.
Insert that clip everybody uses on YouTube for everything, and TikTok. You need to leave. Like, fucking.
That was so funny at the end when he slapped him.
Yeah, what she needs.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. Like, oh my god. Like, there are so many talented and amazing human beings in this world. And there are also so
Zero
many,
of them are her.
Yeah, oh my god. Why would you basic common sense, why would you do that? That's like baking sperm into a fucking
Yeah, it is. It's like,
gross.
After somebody takes a bite of that muffin, I made those muffins out of cum.
Right, yeah.
What were you making the other day?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you gotta put a little secret sauce in there, a little extra cream, a little butter and cum. And you give it to your roommates, and they'll be like, wow, this is divine.
So divine.
Divine.
That's gotta be against the law somewhere. You can't unknowingly feed somebody something like that's. They should take her children away. That's abuse.
Yeah.
You want to talk about abuse? Feeding your children yeast-infected cinnamon rolls is abuse.
It's fucked up, bro. And I think I had to read that online that there were kids involved with this because it's like.
Did you hear them screaming?
Yeah, they're like, I'm dying. Yeah, they got the thrush.
Yeah.
Did you see her? She's like, not fun. This isn't good. Guys, Bimma, you make muffin out of your vagina, my tongue.
That's like having an
stupid.
infected cut and like sucking the blood out of it.
Now, I consider myself a progressive man, but you stupid ass man. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It would be divorce instantly.
Yeah, throw that bitch out.
She's
broken.
Yeah, no, I would not.
She is broken.
No, like ew.
Can't turn that hoe into a housewife, though. So yeah.
Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah,
as much
so
as
we'll.
I did.
Yeah, so we need a little palate cleanser here. So we're gonna bring you into our next video segment for the evening, which is a new form of martial arts. We've brought you Bushido. We've brought you pseudo judo.
I
came up with that one earlier.
I like it.
Yeah. Pseudo judo, Bushido. We've showed you all sorts of things here. But today, this is a real freaking thing, by the way. This
sport.
is like...
And it's been going on for like a year.
Yeah. Closer to slap fights. Like it's a real sanctioned fucking thing. They have referees and medical staff and wombats and apparently a few viewers.
You're right, dude.
One of your roommates caught this shit and showed you. And so you brought this to my attention, and I thought that you all needed to experience it.
You all need to
all
experience
right, here are the rules. Sean, what are the rules? You're in the car. You start with your seatbelt unbuckled. Both start with their seatbelt buckled. I like to think that CarJitsu is a simulation of what a marital fight would look like to the death in the car. Like, what'd you say? That's it. I'll kill us. Ah!
Yeah, if both of you were trained fucking fighters.
Yeah, but jujitsus. Yeah. So, but that's what I think it's simulating. It's the marital fight,
exactly,
to the death. Yeah. As is beloved here in America. It's an institution.
What was it? It was Mr. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah,
both spies. Yeah,
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but in a car, and you got to start with your seatbelts buckled.
Yep.
All right, and then they say go, and your objective is to kill the other guy. You cannot throw strikes. No elbows, no punches. But other than that, I believe it's like, for the most part, like freeform jujitsu.
Yep.
No gi.
There's really nothing. You can choke people.
You can choke people with the seatbelt. You could choke them with their arm. You can do it as long as you get a tap. You could punch. You could. Well, no,
I don't think you can punch.
You can't punch.
Yeah.
You could finger the butthole, maybe.
You could finger the butthole. Maybe finger their nose.
Yeah, not 100% sure on that. You might have to check the old.
Stick your dick in your mouth, like it's just,
man, you gotta watch out for that one.
Possibilities.
But later on, this guy winds up upside down. It's pretty special. So, all right, CarJitsu, take it away, Doogies.
All right.
The back seat for a 4-minute third round. Anything inside the vehicle may be used to submit your opponent, and all rounds can only be won by submission.
All right, they're starting buckled.
Yeah.
3 minutes on the clock.
First
Round
episode.
Immediately,
He's
Vic
going
McKee
for
reaches over
the
and blocks the
seatbelt
seatbelt
block.
of Matt Williams. Matt is now still wrapped in his seatbelt. It's wrapped around his left arm. McKeeve is trying to advance his position and get on top of Matt in the driver's seat. Looks like he's about to do so, but Matt has a lockdown.
And this is the
on
first
left leg
episode
of
ever, and I
McKeeve.
heard this dude's been training
Matt's
for
now
this
trying to take
tactic
the
here.
back-
So
the
when
back of
the
Vic.
first bell
Vic's
goes,
trying to free that leg.
He's ready.
Yeah, he
Matt's still
blocks
stuck
the
in
other
that
guy
seatbelt.
from
Okay, now Vic
unbuckling
just
his
realized that
seatbelt.
the seatbelt is in
And
play.
now the dude, even though he's
the
got it
seatbelt now, and he's trying to
unbuckled,
wrap it around
he's
the
still got it
throat
wrapped around
of Matt
him.
Williams. Matt has no interest in that. He's going to take. Okay, Matt is grabbing the back of Vic's head and trying to control the posture so that he can wrap the seatbelt around Vic's neck.
They're both using the
Okay, Vic
seatbelt now.
avoids that successfully, and now he's trying to wrap that seatbelt around the throat of Matt. Matt is pulling out all
Using
of
it
the
as a
slack to
flotation
prohibit
device.
that. Matt wants the seatbelt choke himself. This is a big battle between who can be more effective with the seatbelt. We've seen a lot of seatbelt chokes tonight. The most effective has been the Ezekiel seatbelt choke, and it looks to me that that's
Ezekiel.
what Vic is trying
Got
to
him.
apply here. Okay, now
This
he's
looks
got the
like
seatbelt
two
all the
drunk
way around the
guys
back
fighting
of
each
Matt's
other
neck.
in the
Matt
car.
is in a bad situation here. He still
Or maybe
has the
two
lockdown on
crackheads
the
fighting
left
over a
leg.
bag.
That's keeping Vic from advancing his position, and Vic does not like it.
They
Oh my
should
gosh,
add
Vic now
fucking
has the
drugs
ankle.
to this shit.
Oh, he's going for the
Go ahead and
leg.
lay back with this ankle. He's
Nice.
abandoned the seatbelt choke, and now he's looking for some sort of a heel hook here, maybe a knee bar. Oh my gosh, Matt is in a horrible
Oh my
position
gosh.
here.
Man, should his leg
Vic is now
bend
jerking
like
on the
that?
ankle.
Like
He's looking
Jesus
for
Christ!
any sort of a lock here. He's going to extend it.
Oh,
Oh
man,
my goodness, Matt's in trouble.
ooh. I don't think his
Definitely Vic's
leg should
looking for a
bend
heel
like
hook
that.
here.
Like, doesn't your knee
And
go
there's
the other way? Oh yeah, there he goes.
Got him.
God damn.
And just like
Ooh.
that, Vic McKee wins the
Ow,
first
he's
round.
got to get that checked.
With a heel hook of Matt Williams. Now, there will be no break between rounds here at CarJitsu. We only break
Yeah,
long
they don't
enough
take
for the
fucking breaks. They
competitors
just
to
keep
switch
fucking
seats.
going. They're just-
So Vic will now move to the driver's
They
seat.
just switch
and Matt
seats
Williams
and
Oh,
go.
okay, they're
to
gonna
the
switch,
passenger
huh?
seat.
Yep.
As soon as they're in place, we will immediately begin round
Yeah,
two.
that was first round. This will be second round, and then they do the back seat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you still get your 3 rounds, but it's different environment, you know. So it's a little crazier.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
And we're off, round two. And Vic again grabs the seatbelt, keeps Matt from
Yeah,
getting
grabs
out.
the seatbelt
Matt
again.
is
Like
now
it's just
stuck in
a
the
staple
seatbelt. It's under
move.
his
That's
right
the
arm.
first thing everybody
Vic's
does.
in the
Right,
front head
yeah,
lock.
makes
He's
sense.
found his way
Grab the
over
seatbelt.
into the passenger
That was the
seat.
first match ever, so he's setting the
Fighting that headlock.
precedent.
No,
you
yeah,
know?
seriously, yeah.
At this point in the match, it is nearly 90 degrees inside the vehicle.
90
degrees?
That's ridiculous.
Why? For what
yeah,
purpose?
have some air conditioning in
Put the
there.
fucking
Like,
air on.
Yeah. Why do they need to sweat like that? That's honestly that's child abuse.
With the
at this
seatbelt
point.
wrapped
It is
around
child
his
abuse.
right
Child
shoulder.
abuse against these grown ass
Vic
men.
is
Yeah.
pressuring Matt down into the floorboard. He wants Matt's head down
90
to the floorboard.
fucking degrees.
Matt
You wouldn't
is now
put your
trying-
dog in that.
Oh my gosh! And now Vic has scored 2 points.
Shouldn't.
With knee on
You
belly.
shouldn't,
Now, these
yeah.
points do not matter during the match.
Or your
The
baby, I
points only
guess.
matter with the
Or your
season's
UFC,
leader.
or I guess
The
jiu-jitsu
grappler
fighter.
with the most points will face the grappler with the
CarJitsu
most
fighter.
submissions
You're right.
to see who will be champion.
CarJitsu, man. Like what a
Vic's looking
sport.
for back mount here. If he
Though
could just get
I
his knee
would
over.
be very hesitant to attack somebody in their car like that.
Now it looks like Vic has
Look at this
successfully
guy.
shoved
Yeah,
Matt
it's just
Williams' head
underneath
down
the
into passenger
fucking
side
glove
floor.
He's got the fucking
compartment.
guy
It's in
upside
another tough
down.
position here. Both of his legs are exposed, and also
What do you
his
call
right
this
arm is
position?
exposed. It looks like Vic is looking for an arm lock here, but it's not
The body
necessarily in a good
compartment.
position
Yeah.
for him to finish.
The head compartment.
I like the body.
Swing that knee over and achieve mount, but very, very difficult. You can see how sweaty these competitors are.
Yeah, they're sweaty
Windows
because
are
it's
starting to
90
fog
fucking
inside the car. Vic's
degrees.
gonna go ahead and
The
use the steering wheel to assist
I didn't even
himself.
notice that the first time I saw it.
Still has the arm lock.
Like 90 degrees.
Has it.
90
Stepped
degrees.
over
Yeah.
For
to get
what
mount.
purpose?
We haven't seen Matt Williams for a few moments. He's down inside the floorboard. Sweat pouring from Vic McKeeve.
Yeah, now I'm confused. They say
Oh my
Williams
gosh.
and they got the red thing, but the guy in red is Vic.
Very good defense.
I know, like, come on.
They didn't color code this at all, yeah.
Because the other dude's in fucking white, so yeah, like, what the hell?
That's what the UFC does, so just figured, you know.
Okay,
They're not quite up there yet.
That's why Dana White didn't buy this one.
Yeah.
You know, because he funds slap fights.
God,
What a
he's
strange
just like
position here.
completely
Oh, he's got his foot in his
backwards.
butthole.
Yeah, he does.
Look at that, the old foot in the
It's a
butthole.
calf slicer.
That's how you win, you know?
Put
You
your
got-
heel right in his hole.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Nice. Ooh. Just
Earlier this
Oh, he
year,
got him with the old figure 4 leg lock, like Ric Flair from WWE.
Inside the car is a
I have
heel
enough
hook
problems
or
with
leg
my
lock.
knees. I don't need
Has
someone
just won
yanking on them. Jesus
with a calf
Christ.
slicer and a heel hook. Unbelievable.
Nice. Just one.
All right, let's hear this post-fight interview.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. It would have been a little weird if you didn't win, you know, with all this
Look,
expectation.
it's the Dana White of car fighting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I guess
Would've
they
been a
call
little
it it's
weird.
high on your supply.
Yeah, apparently this guy was
You
training
know,
for a long
it's
time
nice
for
to
this.
have
He
a
had
good
come in with
opponent
techniques, and
who is trying something.
you know he was
that
more prepared
allows
than the
you
other
to-
cat.
To perform something new.
Discover something yourself.
2 leg locks today,
He's like, I
which I
can't
just said everybody
breathe
that they're almost
in
impossible.
90-degree car.
And it's not because of the lack of the knowledge of this gentleman. Really great jiu-jitsu. He tried to do something, you know. Really good defense. So yeah, I like it.
Very good, very good.
It's still interesting to me.
You still got it, man. Congratulations. Anything you want to say to anybody out there?
Do CarJitsu. Yeah.
Good defense.
Do CarJitsu! Woo! Yeah! Yeah, I'm so glad Aaron showed this to me. Like, oh my gosh. What a amazing time.
CarJitsu.
CarJitsu!
Beautiful. Well, that was quite an experience in itself, wasn't it?
It really was.
Why don't we go ahead and move into our next video here? We've got P. Diddy, you know, a little something unsavory again for you fellas. We'd seen this a while back, as I'm sure a lot of you have. Diddy with his I don't know if this is his niece or someone. It seems like someone that's related to
Probably
him.
just a random child.
Yeah.
Knowing
He just
Diddy.
paid the mom. You know?
Yeah, it was like, could I borrow your child from?
No, he was like, Diddy gonna borrow your child. Here, $1 million.
Yeah.
All right.
No, yeah, that is more Diddy. Yeah, I was trying to do like the pervert from Family Guy. The
After this, we're gonna have to do a live Google. P. Diddy, not a live Google, but a live search into YouTube here. P. Diddy just did a, not just, but I was watching an old Two Bears, One Cave podcast from over a year or so ago, and Bert was like, "Did you just see what we were having with P. Diddy?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And like, turns out like P. Diddy was like trying to fight some dude from like this, I don't know, fairly popular show, and like, but he's dressed up as like Joker.
Oh, interesting.
And he's got like his whole posse there, and they're all
Diddy
dressed
is
as the
dressed up?
clowns.
Oh my God.
And he's like stays in character, and he's got a pretty good Joker. Like he's pretty convincing. And then all of a sudden, he like switches on this dude. He's like, "I'll kill you right now, motherfucker." You want to like, dude? It's great. We gotta watch it. We'll do it after this one. But yeah,
down, yeah.
Diddy with his shocking list of names bullshit. So you know, anyway, it was just really disturbing what he did with the kids. So we're gonna show some of you guys that haven't seen it here. So.
And it's always good. I mean, whether or not this is a real list or whatever, but I could see it. all these people that were probably on Epstein's island.
Yeah, no, I don't. I you know, true or not, just the way he's going about it involving this kid is just kind of gross.
It's really gross. It's really creepy. I mean, especially with like accusations and like that's one of the worst things you could fucking do. Oh my god.
no,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you guys gonna watch it with us?
And it's got the mic off in the OBS, right?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Drake. Hey, big schlong boy.
J-Lo,
J-Lo.
A-Rod, Will Smith,
You keep your my boy's name out of your fucking mouth. Did he say Kanye West? He probably diddles Jewish girls. That wasn't anything. I was just saying probably. Snoop Dogg.
I think the whole reason he's doing this list thing is because he's trying to, like, you know, basically, y'all motherfuckers, like, made an agreement, and y'all better come out now and speak, or I'm gonna, you know, light everybody up, and so we'll see what happens.
Probably got dirt on everybody.
Yeah, but it's kind of been stale for after this. This happened a couple weeks ago, so it's just like, it's weird, you know?
Yeah. I mean, everything high profile like that, it just seems like it always, like, I mean, even the Epstein thing kind of went under. I mean, they killed him, so, I mean,
he went really under the ground.
He went under the ground. And they couldn't get Diddy, man.
All right, turn off this diddler here.
Well, let's get back to this.
What a creep.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, go ahead and, you know, while it's recording here, go ahead and start the YouTube search for P. Diddy Justice, Joker fight or whatever.
I should type that into YouTube, huh?
Yeah.
P. Diddy fight. P. Diddy. Diddy. Joker fights. Nice. Right there. Boom. I'm excited. I love
dude.
Michael J. Ferguson.
He's pussy.
Not to be confused with Michael J. Fox.
Pussy. Yeah. You, nigga. Yeah, him.
What's going on? It's InstaSnap TV with another
All right, here you
exclusive.
go.
This is a...
Diddy got into an altercation last night on
this is
Halloween
some
with
other
Power
dude
Series actor Michael J.
saying,
Ferguson. We don't know for sure what lead up to...
Why are there all these stupid reaction videos to things? God.
Yeah, right?
Stupid.
As we're doing one.
Yeah. Is this,
I think this might... I don't know. It looks all fucking weird, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I believe in it.
Pussy. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, him. Just like I said.
You're a clown! What's up, baby? What's up, baby? What's up? You don't like me? Then motherfucker get to it, nigga.
And then he switches up real quick.
Get to it, bitch. Don't fucking play with me on Halloween. I'm out here with love, nigga.
Don't play with me on Halloween. I'm out here with love.
Nigga, what's up? Fucking come over here and I'll bust your shit.
Nah, hey, keep it
You
pimping.
fucking pussy. Make sure you don't never talk to me like that, nigga. I'm love, nigga.
I'm love.
Yeah, that's a dual message. I'll kick your ass. All love.
Man, you got a problem?
Keep that shit macking, man.
You really taking over my energy.
He wanna hurt you.
So what did I do to you?
For this crowd. Don't do it for
What
this
did I
crowd.
do to you?
Don't
You know
do
who
it
I
for this
am?
crowd.
Do you know who I am?
For what?
Bro, do you know who I am?
It's all love, bro. It's all love, bro.
He's like, you know who I am?
It's Puff.
Yo, it's Puff. And the other guy's kind of like, oh. And when he says he's Puff, he's like, oh, okay, all right. But yeah, no, Diddy doesn't fuck around. If that dude would have, like, done some shit, he would have been fighting all 6 of them, all, like, I mean, you don't see it in this video, but he's got, like, 40 clown dudes with him. That would be some
see quite a
shit.
few, but yeah, I mean, that's...
Well, apparently, yeah, there was like up to 40 is what I heard, but you know, it's probably like 20, but still, like Diddy rolls deep, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, when you're that high profile, I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta
I know,
have
man.
people around you.
He doesn't fuck
24/7,
around, man. So,
oh my gosh.
yeah, I thought you'd like that one.
Hey, honestly, I mean, he did a really good job as the Joker.
I'm
Maybe
telling you,
just,
before
like,
he like, you know, starts like getting in the middle of the street and he's like, let's go, motherfucker. Let's do it. You want to fuck with me, son? Come on. With me. Damn, bro.
Damn.
Diddy out there fucking being a menace. I mean, that's an old video, but just
a
now that
menace.
everything's going on, just brings it to light. I'm like, let me just tell you, this man ain't out here for unicorns and daisies.
No, he is not. Man, yeah, fucking Diddy. We're gonna have to look into Diddy more.
He said, don't kill
See
my
what
vibe on
happens.
Halloween. I'm all about love, motherfucker. Like,
Well, I kick your ass. I wonder if that gun was real or if it was fake. I can see it being real.
Diddy's is fake. All 7 of his homies is real.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. He's not gonna get caught.
He
with
doesn't need a gun, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if
man.
he's losing the fight, they'll shoot him.
Wild, man. So,
Yeah, that is crazy.
yeah. So
But
the
really,
diddler,
I mean,
he's out there.
He's still above.
Yeah, I mean, you showed us him as the diddler, the Riddler diddler, but now he's the Joker smoker out there.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, he still did a better job than Jared Leto.
Yeah, that's not too hard to do.
No. Dude, I mean, I don't know. He might have been okay in Suicide Squad if they actually like showed what he did, but they like kept like 2 parts of him and then like just and then he was
I just
super
remember the
weird
part
and-
with like Harley Quinn in the strip club and he like pimps her out and that's like all I remember.
Yeah, and that was like it, and it was like
he's
okay,
so vicious.
yeah.
All right, moving on there. You know, something else that is pretty terrible, other than that, you know, Joker rendition,
Right.
is so in other shitty news, you know, we got our the Quiet on Set long-awaited discussion here and now.
Yeah.
We've been waiting to bring it to you folks, and you know, we've you know, it's now's the time. So you know, apparently that was a pretty wild thing. It was a 4-part series,
Okay.
hour-long.
Didn't it come out with a 5th episode?
No, I think just 4-part series, and it was an hour-long each. And in the final episode, they definitely spiced things up. But the first episode, I believe, is mostly about Dan Schneider and his kind of like company culture there with the like writers. There were a couple woman writers or producers or something on, I think they were writers though, on Nickelodeon. And, you know, they were like, it's a man's world. And, you know, it was hard enough being a woman, but Dan was always a little pushy with them and a little like, you know, it would kind of start pushing the boundaries. At first, they said everything was actually really great. And then after some time, you know, he started kind of
power and
throwing some jokes in there. And then, you know what I mean? Like maybe some inappropriate comments. And, you know, they just kind of had to grin and bear it and like, oh, okay, you know.
You're the director. You control all of our paychecks.
Well, and they're
like,
women, so they're...
Yeah, true.
They were like the only women there, you know, and I think some of the first women there. And so it was like, you know, it was really hard for them to even, you know, get the job. So like, what do you want to stir up trouble? You know, this is what they were saying, you know?
Yeah.
And so they, you know, they had to play it cool and kind of take his sexist jokes or remarks or whatever and let him do whatever he wanted. And then he started getting progressively weirder and weirder with it. But before it got to that point, one of the girls, well, actually a little after it started getting like super inappropriate, one of the girls, the blonde there, she went and like looked into their whole pay situation and their contract negotiation. And she realized that they are essentially being paid like half of what like a normal like employee, like a man was being paid in their position there at the same studio. And so, you know, essentially they were like, well, yeah, you gotta like, you know, when asked about it or confronted about it, you know, they were like, you know, Schneider was like, well, you gotta, him and his, you know, other executives were like, you know, you got hired, you're lucky to be here, and this is just kind of what it is, and if you want to stay. And again, same thing as before, they were kind of like, well, you know, I better like keep my mouth shut and kind of just like, I'm lucky enough to be here. And they grinned and bared it. And, you know, the one that investigated about like the money or whatever, like basically like something came out about it, you know, and it came back to them. And like Dan Schneider was like, who do you think you are? And like, you know what I mean? Like, how dare you like come out and slander us? Just telling the truth, but like, you know, how dare you blow the whistle on us? you know?
Gotta hire the Boeing assassin.
Yeah, you
Get
know,
that
and-
whistleblower.
Yeah, dude, and straight up, like, I don't know, like, they ended up basically firing her, or, like, it got to the point where they, like, forced her, made her quit, and, you know, it was a really bad thing.
As they
and
do.
She moved on to a different place and is doing better, you know, but,
Good for her.
yeah, apparently it was super traumatic, and then
I'm sure,
the
yeah.
other girl, and I think this is while both girls were still there, she was a writer, and, you know, basically there was, like, one time where Dan Schneider was like, you know what would be really funny right now? Because she was, like, saying some delivery of a line that she thought would be good for the show.
Fair.
And he just, like, not only dismissed it, but was like, yeah, you know what would be funny right now? If you bent over the table and pretended you were being, like, sodomized, you know, like anally, and say it with a smile, and then and do it for all of us. And it was like a room full of guys, and the one girl and the other girl was like, oh my God, and like they just kind of, but she did it, and she
did.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she didn't want to lose her job, and you know what I mean, worked really hard to get there, and
Fair, yeah.
you know, people take advantage of me.
Terrible.
Yeah, so he did that and all that, and you know, they both ended up quitting, and they, you know, confirm each
them.
other's stories, and they interviewed
Yeah.
them both live. This isn't like old accounts or anything, so it's
Fair.
pretty interesting.
Damn.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
What a
And then they
creep.
get into the next episodes, which are about like another guy on the Quiet on Set thing who had like turned out to be a child molester.
Oh, damn. So it wasn't just Dan Schneider. It was like a couple
Well,
of people.
Dan Schneider, according to the kids, even though he did those inappropriate things, you know, to not to spoil the whole thing, but like, you know, it definitely doesn't. But to get to the chase of the thing, you know, all in all 4 episodes, all the kids, including Drake Bell and the other ones that were there, said that, you know, like he did like weird shit, but like, and he was definitely like picked a lot of favorites. He like, you know, would kind of groom like one kid and then let the other ones, like, he was like, you're my star. And then the other ones would be like, feel really bad. The black kid wasn't treated good. They were like, you're a black kid, nobody cares about you. And then like his family just, you know, and his mom tried to cause a thing, and they were like, basically, if you cause a stir, he'll be gone. And then he was, you know.
Damn.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyway, I don't remember what that guy was doing, what his position was. It was like a younger fellow.
Gotcha.
That
so Dan Schneider.
Oh,
didn't
he
do
was
anything to
he was
anybody.
like the on-stage guy. No, Dan. Oh yeah, sorry, but Dan
he
Schneider.
didn't-
All in all,
he
all the
didn't
accounts,
molest anybody.
all accounts from the kids were like, Dan never touched me. According to
That's good.
Drake, well, I'll get to his thing
Okay,
with Dan
yeah,
later,
fair.
but like, you know, he basically said that Dan Schneider was the only one that like reached out to him and was like, "Are you okay?" And so basically, they all actually talked fairly well about Dan Schneider, especially the ones that were popular and got their own shows.
Dude, that's all I've heard is Dan Schneider's the devil, pretty much, and like
He didn't.
damn, like,
He
I
wasn't
mean,
the raper, but he.
Yeah, I mean, which gives you a little bit
But
of
he
credit.
was like a devil of a executive
Yeah,
that
no,
was
and-
above you. The worst boss you
Yeah.
could have, especially as a
Which
woman.
Don't condone that, but
Yeah,
but at
very
least you're not
bad.
raping children.
But it seems like he was not the one that did that, and according to Drake, he was actually there for him. You know, again, like there's very mixed feelings with the kids to him, but you know, the next couple episodes just kind of spend talking about how Dan, you know, would, you know, kind of pick favorites with the kids, and like, you know, some of them like would get their own shows, and then one of them like was his favorite, and then Amanda Bynes came along, and the other girl was out, and you know, they're like, oh, you're 16, you're too old now, you know what I mean? And you know, so they just, you know, it's just kind of a weird thing, and
when
but
you're dealing
according
with
to
kids,
at least from what's out now, he didn't do something, you know what I mean? He maybe paid him a lot of money, but like that's what they said, you know.
Fair.
But you know, they all said it was like really shitty and horrible and made him feel bad, and he would be really kind of crazy at the kids, and you know, like, but he also was like their friends, but then it was weird, and you know, definitely something strange going on, but like I'm not sure if he actually diddled or whatever, but not in Quiet on Set. It's definitely, you know, discuss it. He was not the one doing that, but he did all those other things.
But so it was a different dude that was doing.
So there was this. The first one is there was this guy who was essentially like the on-stage hand. So like when you would drop your daughter off for the filming in the morning, because the parents weren't allowed to like hang out.
Fair.
Which is like a red flag there.
Yeah.
You would like leave your kid, or like they had to stay in a certain area, so they were on site, but they weren't allowed to be like with the kids. They couldn't actually see what was going on. They're like, just stand over here while we do weird shit with your kid.
Yeah, that is a red flag.
And the guy was like a young 20-something-year-old, handsome-looking, young, normal, college-looking boy, and all the moms were like, he was so friendly. He was beyond helpful. He was the nicest guy. He actually like became kind of our friends, all the parents. And then, just turned out that, like he was, he was a little too friendly with the kids. And, he'd like, okay, bye. And he'd like walk the kids to their thing. And, he became friends with the kids. And he was, and how he got caught was there was like this one mom that was like, this is something really weird. And then they somehow separated it and like, and so they were like, you can't come down anymore, but like, we'll also won't like have communication between them in this way or whatever. And then basically he started emailing the girl, and he was like, and at first it was like, how you doing? And she was like, oh, this is pretty normal. And then eventually the mom, like the kid told the mom, was like, confessed that like, he's been sending me shit. And the mom went in and like looked on, and like, it was just like dick pics and all this stuff from the guy to this little girl.
Christ.
And that, it's confirmed that he had on multiple accounts on multiple times with multiple children, molested them or whatever, and then, so that was just the first guy. And now the second guy, so now that's it. And then so that's like up to episode 3. We've talked about Dan Schneider and the writers, the women. We've talked about Dan Schneider and kind of his like just kind of general culture and how he was like this presence. And at first he was like, oh, Dan, the fun Dan guy. And by the end of it, it was like Darth Vader walked in the room, is the way they described it,
Nice.
So he became a bit of a bastard, and he was big on like asking for massages from the like women, whether it was the staff writers or even the like young kids themselves, but always the women, kids, even, the girls, young girls and everything. Amanda Bynes, ooh, the iCarly chick, ooh, like, and so
those poor children.
And then he would show their feet all the time, I watched Drake and Josh, and like the first episode, Josh is in a bathtub. I'm like, it's a little weird, you know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah, you can't watch it now.
It doesn't hit the same, dude. Yeah, it hits different. And
it hits different.
Yeah, different. And so it's just, that was kind of what they focused on. And, like there was definitely a lot of weird situations with Dan. Like he had the whole thing with Selena Gomez, like dripping milk all over herself.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
I think I saw it.
She was like, oh my God. And then there was always references on Nickelodeon about like the kids would like, like open a thing and, and always a lot of times the women character, the little girl characters, like little teenage girls are getting like sprayed with stuff. On Zoe 101 or whatever it was, she got sprayed with like this like white goo, and she was like, oh my God. And basically when that would happen in the background on set, the adults would kind of like under their breath, like all be whispering to each other, like, oh, it's cum shot, it's cum shot. And so the kids heard like cum shot, and they're like, the fuck, and so
that's so great, and
they just had to do all that, and like,
well, the slime Nickelodeon thing always was gross to me.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like they did like little cum shotty things.
Yeah,
Diddy was on an episode. I think Diddy was on an episode, and he was like, go put the slime in his mouth or whatever. Yeah, it's all right. And like, it's just a whole bunch of fucked up shit. So they spent like a whole episode talking about Dan Schneider and just the weird shit that he and the whole company was doing there, and then the, third episode was kind of about the, whatever else we discussed on it, you know what I mean? Okay, and the other Chomo guy, the first young Chomo guy, and how what he had done to some of the like less popular kids. He only diddled the less popular kids, apparently. And then
he wasn't ready for the start.
Yeah, that was a different guy. So then comes episode 4, the big like sketchy fucked up finale, and basically that's Drake's episode. And Drake gets on, and never before seen ever. He's never told his story before. He's always kind of just denied stuff because of the trauma.
Fair, yeah. I mean,
but there are like actual police reports.
Damn.
So it's not like speculation at all.
Fair, yeah. I figured.
But because of the way that you're treated as a man when you come out about this shit, you know, well, why'd you let him do that to you? And that's kind of the way men view it. They're like, oh, I wouldn't be raping me, and it's like, you know, like.
You don't know.
But you know, especially as a kid, and you're coaxed into this shit, and do you want to be a star? You know what I mean? And get down there, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, so that's basically, you know, they go through. So Drake's whole thing was he wanted to be, you know, he was a gifted musician and like had this acting talent, big personality. I always thought it would have been cool to be Drake as a kid because I was a musician and kind of a personality, and like, I guess I dodged that bullet, but you know.
Dude, I was actually just thinking about that the other day. Like, my mom used to take me when I was like in like first grade or before, used to take me to at the outlet mall. They would have, you know, the bring your kids and see if they could model and all this stuff. And so she would bring me to those, and I never took them seriously. I would always make goofy faces and stuff because I was just a fucking weirdo kid.
Good thing you did.
Dude, no, yeah. Like, I would take getting molested by my neighbor over my fucking like boss.
There you go.
Like, oh my God. Like, if it had to have happened, you know, hey, it's...
Yeah, well, let me just tell you, I mean, what happened with him definitely seems like it was a little extra degree up, you know?
No, yeah, so, I wouldn't wish what happened on him, like...
I don't know what's happening on any of you, on anybody, but just...
Yeah,
this one was just particularly disturbing to hear, and...
I'm sure. I don't even want to watch it, like, I just
so episode 4, they're going along...
I feel so bad for Drake.
Yeah, and so he... You know, he's getting his own show, he's doing things, and this is right before he gets his own show. He's being groomed by their like vocal coach. They have like a vocal coach, and he's just as big as Dan Schneider. He was one of Dan Schneider's like friends. Him and Dan were involved with a lot of stuff, and you know, but he like, you know, would like basically, I don't know, I guess he was real into Drake, and you know, they were bringing him to the thing, and the dad was his manager, because the dad's the one that started bringing him to these things to begin with. It was kind of him and his dad's thing.
Yeah.
His dad and mom were divorced, and when the dad would pick up Drake, that was their thing together. They would like go for these things and play music, and he supported his like arts, and it was great. Yeah. And you know, basically he was, you know, going through all that, and then the dad started like noticing like, well, why does he want to be like alone, and why can't we be there? And like he noticed like the vocal coach was doing some weird shit, and basically he was like, this guy cannot be alone with Drake, you know what I mean? Like, I need to be there at all times. And so he was, and like started like not letting Drake out of his sight, you know? And
good.
And that was, the dad was on it, you know? And he actually comes out at the end of the show. That's like the ending scene is him and Drake like, I guess this life is fucked up. And Drake's like, he goes, everything's going to get better, son. And Drake says, everybody keeps telling me that. And he was like, well, it's true or something. And that's kind of like it. And they just walk off. And
wow.
It's sad. Yeah, dude. No, it's really sad. Man, and like, I totally feel for him. But like, anyway. Yeah. And so, you know, basically the dad like started getting keen to this like whole vocal coach guy being around him, and was like, this is fucking off. There's something not right here. I need to be around. He cannot be out of my sight. And, you know, they of course let him do that, but the vocal coach started like talking to the mom and like weaseling his way in there and being like, I think it's in his best interest if Drake doesn't like see his dad anymore, you know? And and he's told Drake that, like, because he was like, buddy with Drake. He told Drake, like, yeah, I don't think you should. He said your dad's stealing money from you. Because his dad was his manager.
Oh my god.
And his dad wasn't stealing money from him. Like, proven. But he like coaxed, he's just a young kid. He was like, he's stealing money from you. This guy is not out to be your friend. He's like, you gotta watch out for your dad. So Drake like pushed himself away from his dad and was old enough to basically decide, like, I'm just gonna stay with mom and I don't want anything to do with you. And it like broke the dad's heart. But he was like, if that's what you want to do, then I can't say anything about it. But, basically, he went to the mom and was like, now listen, you want to take over his stuff? No problem. He transferred over the bank account. All the stuff was like, because he had control of all Drake's stuff.
Good guy.
He transferred everything over, was like, here you go. If this, this is terrible, breaks my heart, but like, if this is what, you have to do. But he said, but listen, that guy is fucking weird. Something's going on with him. Do not let Drake be alone with him no matter what. And she was like, all right, whatever, sure. And so he was like, all right, well, at least Drake will be safe. And so for a while, the mom did that. But the mom, the whole reason the dad was driving him to this stuff in the initial was because the mom didn't like to drive. She was like a lazy house mom. It was like, I don't want to drive, I'm lazy. And so the vocal coach was like, he lived in like Oakland or whatever, like basically like few blocks away from the studio, or like 10 minutes from the studio, and the mom lived about an hour. And so he was like, well, it just makes sense that, I'll come get him and drive him to the thing. And so he started driving Drake back and forth. And then eventually he was like, well, since I'm so much closer, maybe Drake, we're shooting tomorrow, so maybe Drake should just stay at my house tonight.
Oh god.
And that's how it started. And so once Drake started staying over at the house, then he started like molesting him, and then it led up, and basically they were like, can you tell us what happened to you, Drake? And he was like, I don't know how to answer that. He said, but let me tell you this, like, whatever is the most fucked up and depraved, lewd, terrible act you could do to a child, that's what happened.
Jesus. That is heavy.
And like this guy had like a whole like Planet of the Apes scene in his garage. He was like, oh, my house is a wonderland. All those guys that are like, my house is like Six Flags. It's like, you're a chomo, probably. Yeah, bro, like, nobody's like, Neverland Ranch and was not out to get you, bro. Like, fucked up. And so
we'll take you to an island.
Yeah. And so anyway, he started staying over more and more. And eventually the guy started like fully, penetrating him and doing all this stuff. And, oh my God. And, basically the show ends and it's like Drake and his dad, and the dad, cause they've reconnected, and, he's like, it's gonna be okay. And, to be fair, Drake's like had his own thing with, there was like some underage girl who texted him and he sexted with her or something. I've heard some stuff where he didn't know. Honestly, when this stuff happens to you, apparently a lot of times you do to others, and, it's something that's definitely terrible, but it's very psychologically known. And, not everybody, obviously, but there are those who, a lot of times, those who do it to people have been abused. And, I don't think that Drake, he definitely didn't, like, molest anybody, but, I think that, know what I mean? It could contribute
and you're
to some of that.
experiencing these things.
Well, according to him, it was blown super out of proportion by the media, and like it was more of a, like, he didn't, basically his thing is like, yes, but I didn't know she was underage, which is like,
yeah.
You should know, but like, that's, if that's the truth, then, anyway, I'm not defending him on that, but especially for what happened to him, a lot of times psychologically that is what happens.
Well, and especially if you are dealing with like stress and trauma, and like especially that world, there's definitely a possibility that you start talking to someone, you're around younger kids,
All the
you're
time,
around
and-
all this stuff. So like, I mean, and honestly, I
Young
mean,
girls follow him around the world. And
exactly,
It's
yeah, and so you don't know entirely all the time, and so
like, yeah,
like, I mean,
you know,
and if
at
you
least with
don't-
what happened to him, I don't know. And honestly, just hearing how honest he sounded during that whole thing, just. I don't know, man. I believe him. I just do. I don't know why, but I just sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I just something in his eyes. I just kind of was like, man.
Sometimes
I don't
you can tell.
You know, but regardless, what was done to him was fucking an atrocity. And at the end, him and the dad are on the couch, and they hug, and you know, he's like, "It's gonna be okay, son." He's like, "People keep telling me that," and he's like, "Well, it's true, you know, like."
I mean,
Just
yeah,
gotta give it
things-
time or something, and like
things do get better.
just,
I mean,
dude, it was so tragic, and just dude, the whole quiet on set thing was pretty disturbing. So yeah, that was kind of a whole
terrible.
journey. So we kind of went episode by episode. We discussed. Well, I mean, we had some
Yeah.
heavy topics this pod.
we
you know?
did. It was the best of times and the worst of times.
Yeah, man, the age of madness and the time of
And we love everybody out there.
pot
If things are happening to you, speak up, talk to people,
don't
get
put
some
it in your
help.
hole.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't bury it in the hole, because
do it.
then when it comes out of the hole, it'll be all rotten.
It will be.
All right, well said.
And cut.
Yeah, that's
Boom.
right.
wait, we gotta.
That's all. That's all for now, folks. So see you next time, baby. We love you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.